On OSRC News at 7, Governor Ayedatiwa expresses satisfaction with ongoing judiciary complex projects. Ondo schools begin celebration rehearsals ahead May 27 Children's Day. EFCC refutes claims of political meeting involving chairman. And from the foreign scene, George halts Trump move to block Harvard from enrolling foreign students.
Good evening and welcome to the news at 7. I am Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi. Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has expressed satisfaction with the quality and level of work done on the ongoing construction of the new state judiciary complex in Akure. Governor Ayedatiwa, during an unscheduled inspection visit to the project site in Akure, expressed optimism that the project will be delivered on schedule. The governor commended the contractor handling the project for the quality of work and for keeping to the timeline given for the project. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
The project, named after former governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, was flagged off on the 27th of December 2024 with 48 weeks completion time, determined to ensure that the job is completed on schedule and to specifications. Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa paid an on-the-spot assessment of the project site. The complex will include a ceremonial court, modular courts, a registry, a library, exhibition buildings, a utility building, and modern parking facilities. It is designed to create a conducive environment for the administration of justice and to speed up the dispensation of justice in Ondo State. Speaking after inspection of the project, Governor Ayedatiwa expressed optimism that the project will be delivered on schedule. The governor commended the contractor handling the project for the quality of work and for keeping to the timeline given for the project.
From what I have seen, the level of work has gone very far, and the quality, like I spoke to the engineer on site, who has promised that they are working according to their timetable to be able to deliver according to schedule. I want to believe that will be done because I trust in their capacity. In the first place, that was why the contract was awarded to them. And from the report from the special advisor on infrastructure, lands and housing, that the contractors are working based on the timetable that is approved for them. So I believe this job will be completed to budget and to schedule. So I have no doubt. So I'm looking forward to when this whole place will be fully done and it can be commissioned for use. This project is well funded. We have made budget for it and the fund is ready. So as they progress, as they are due for payment will be released to them.
Governor Ayedatiwa stated his dedication to prosper the state and the people through purposeful leadership and impactful governance. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Schools in Ondo State have commenced rehearsals ahead of the Children's Day celebration scheduled for Tuesday, May 27. Special Advisor to the Governor on Women Affairs, Sheung Osamai, who visited the venue for the celebration in Akure, reaffirmed the state government's commitment to prioritizing the welfare of children to help them reach their full potential. Omori Olampeji has details.
These children are among the many pupils from various schools preparing to participate in this year's March Past competition as part of the Children's Day celebration on May 27. Officials from Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, led by the Special Advisor to Governor, Dr. Sheung Osamaye, alongside other political stakeholders, were on ground to monitor the exercise. While addressing the children, Dr. Osamaye commended them for their active participation, noting that the state government is committed to their well-being and will not politicize their future. She emphasized that the celebration is designed to foster healthy social interactions and build a sense of community among children.
What we are doing through this competition is to foster unity, to foster love, to foster peace, and most importantly, to motivate you to take your studies very seriously.
Dr. Osamaye also charged them to be good ambassadors of Ondo State and work towards a promising future not only for themselves but also for the state.
You are so fortunate because out of thousands of schools, out of thousands of children, you have been chosen to represent your schools in the March Past competition. I want to tell you, students and children, that day you are not standing for yourself. You are not marching for yourself. You are marching for your school. You are marching for your local government. In other words, you are ambassador and representative of your school and local government. So take this March Past competition very seriously, because we'll be looking at your orderliness, we'll be looking at your innovation and creativity, we'll be looking at your ability to work together as a team.
The area commander for Akure, Obaile, and a member of the Children's Day Planning Committee, Akinroye Adeshino, stated that he is assessing the students to ensure proper coordination and to make necessary corrections before the main event.
They have done the first and second March Past rehearsals. We want to take them through the last one now. But so far, I think they are ready for the D-Day. They are much ready for the D-Day. The little corrections we need to make, we'll do that one now before the actual day.
About 36 schools, each represented by 15 students, are expected to compete in the March Past during the Children's Day celebration. Omoniola Ngbeji, Osrc News.
And giving back to one's alma mater is a tradition that continues to shape the future of education. At Oyemekun Grammar School, Akure, members of the 1986, 1987 and 1988 alumni set have renovated 3 classrooms, a gesture they say is inspired by gratitude for the foundation the school gave them. Blessing Obi reports.
Acts of giving back are often rooted in appreciation, and for former students of Oyemekun Grammar School, Akure, this sense of gratitude has translated into tangible impact. Established in 1953, the school has long benefited from the support of its old students. Over the years, several infrastructure projects have been spearheaded by the alumni, each one contributing to the school's development. In their latest intervention, the 1986, 1987 and 1988 sets came together to renovate 3 classrooms, aiming to provide a more conducive learning environment for current students. They described the initiative as a meaningful way to honor the institution that shaped their early lives.
The buildings were in bad shape. There were no ceilings, there were holes all over the walls of the building. The windows are falling apart. So we decided to come, fix everything, fix the ceiling. The area that termites have ravaged, we decided to put them back and we painted. So I think this will at least give the student the opportunity to learn under a very conducive environment.
The school really empowers us, giving us knowledge. So where we are, different people, different places. So the best bet we can do is just to come back and give the little we can to the school.
To the glory of God and humanity. To God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The renovated classrooms were officially unveiled by the Alumni Association. The school's management says the impact of the project goes beyond infrastructure, noting that such gestures inspire excellence and community spirit.
I need to appreciate most especially the contributors, because it is not easy for people to contribute for the project that will not bring profit for them. So this one brings profit for the humanity, for the younger generation, and I want to say a big thanks to you.
The alumni set have also executed several other projects within the school and have pledged to continue supporting their alma mater in the years to come. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
Also, in order for tertiary institutions to dwell more on research and come up with homegrown solutions to the myriads of challenges facing Nigeria, there is need for the federal and state governments to invest more in education. This is the position that the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, Professor Mrs. Adenike Temidayo Oladici, would be speaking to today on a one-on-one program, Guest of the Week. Professor Oladici explained that the majority of the funding going into research in the academia are being sponsored by the western part of this country, with focus on subjects or issues that they have interest in and not necessarily relevant to Nigeria.
You know, people talk about Nigerian certificates not good, or well, they said Nigerian graduates are not they are not well cooked or well baked or whatever they call. And I keep asking the question: the people that leave this country and go outside the country, work with their certificate, what do you call that?
And they excel.
And they excel. So it's a misnomer when people believe the idea that our graduates are not employable, our graduates are not good, our graduates are not.
But you know, sometimes you ask, perhaps it's from.
Join us today at 7:30 for details. We take a break now. When we come back, the news at 7 continues. Please don't go away. Welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has denied a claim that its chairman Ola Olukoyede met with an incumbent governor and his predecessors 48 hours before they defeated to the All Progressives Congress. The response followed claims by spokesperson to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Paul Ibe, during a recent interview on a national television. Ibe had claimed that both the EFCC chairman and the Solicitor General met with a former and a serving governor from the South-South region 48 hours before they decamped to the APC. Ibe also claimed that the meeting took place at a government lodge in the South-South states. Reacting to the allegation in a statement, EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale said Olukoyede is a political and that the allegation is based on conjectures, emphasizing that the EFCC chairman had previously stressed the agency's stance against political bias. A former Senate leader and lawmaker representing Borno South, Senator Aline Dume, has commended President Bola Tinubu for appointing several northerners to key positions within federal agencies, calling it a step towards inclusive governance. In a statement, Ndume praised the president for responding to earlier concerns over regional imbalance in government appointments. His comments followed the announcement of 12 new appointments from the region into strategic national positions. Ndume, who had previously criticized the administration for marginalizing the North in appointment, referenced the 1999 Constitution, which mandates fair representation of Nigeria's diverse regions. He emphasized that while he remains committed to holding the government accountable, he supports President Tinubu's broader vision for Nigeria and believes in his capacity to deliver on democratic promises. The Gombe State government has taken a stance in defense of a 14-year-old girl who fled a forced marriage in Taraba State. According to the Commissioner of Women Affairs and Social Development, Asmau Iganos, the minor's husband has initiated legal action against her for refusing to return. She made the disclosure while presenting relief materials to the minor at the ministry. The commissioner disclosed that the girl's husband, who already has 2 wives, allegedly subjected her to physical and emotional abuse. The 14-year-old girl thanked the government for providing her with food, shelter, and other essential support, expressing gratitude for the government's intervention. And the Civil Society for Legislative Advocacy Center, 6LAC, and other 45 civil society organizations have commended the immediate protection of Ms. Hamdiya Sharif, a young Nigerian teenager and vocal social commentator, against constant attacks and threats to her life. Recently, Sharif allegedly suffered persecution, harassment, and unlawful treatment for consistently advocating for improved governance and citizen welfare in Sokoto State. Sharif, who was recently declared missing by our legal counsel, was reportedly found later in a hospital in Bakura, Zamfara State, in circumstances that are yet to be fully clarified. Given the suspicious circumstances of her adoption and the looming threats to her life, the civil society organizations called on the Inspector General of Police to take custody and ensure the protection of Ms. Sharif. No fewer than 5 foreigners have been arrested by troops of the Armed Forces of Nigeria in Plateau State. According to the Defense Headquarters, the arrested individuals include 3 foreign Fulani migrants and 2 Chadians. In a statement, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Gaye, did not specify the exact offense committed by the foreigners, but stated that they claimed to be working with an international company. Gaye said they were arrested between May 15 and 2025. The Defense Headquarters had earlier in May linked foreign headers to the recent clashes in Plateau and Benue states. Environmentalists in Democratic Republic of Congo say tropical forests that fell into the hands of Rwanda-backed M23 rebels this year have seen a rise in illegal logging. The region is home to a UNESCO World Heritage Site and hundreds of endangered species. Aderunke Kolawole completes the story.
This is what is happening in a protected forest in the east of Democratic Republic of Congo, and this is where most of the trees are going. The eastern cities of Goma and Bukavu have a combined population of more than 3 million people. Most of them depend on charcoal to cook food every day. Both cities were taken by Rwanda-backed M23 rebels earlier this year as they advanced through Swat and the mineral-rich Kivu provinces. Environmentalists say that's bad news for the new forest.
These days, we buy a bag of charcoal for $13 to $15, and when we arrive in Bukavu, we sell it for $17 to $18. That's how God is helping us. We manage to feed our children and also get soap for laundry.
The lucrative charcoal trade has been controlled by armed groups for decades. Rwanda's government and M23 leaders say they are committed to conversation. UN investigators say M23 fighters collect about $2 million a year from charcoal traders at checkpoints. M23 fighters are accused of widespread rights abuses. Commanders denied. Millions of people have been forced from their homes by the conflicts, shifting and increasing the strain on the forest. The Kausi-Beigan National Park near the eastern city of Bukavu is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's home to one of the last group of an endangered gorilla species.
We took the initiative to contact the authorities in North Kivu and South Kivu. We asked them to become more involved, because if the situation continues this way, we risk losing the national park.
Millions of people have been killed in nearly 30 years of armed conflicts for eastern Congo's vast mineral wealth. It left tens of millions living at the mercy of armed groups, doing whatever they must to survive. Without peace and stability, the forests will keep disappearing until they are gone. Adirunke Kolawole, OSRC News.
U.S. District Judge Alison Burroughs has issued a temporary restraining order blocking the Trump administration's plan to strip Harvard University of its ability to enroll foreign students. The order pursues a move that the Department of Homeland Security made to revoke Harvard's access to the Student and Exchange Visitor Program, a government database that manages foreign students. The university said the administration's decision to bar international students is a blatant violation of the law and free speech rights. The Trump administration, however, says Harvard has not done enough to fight anti-Semitism and change its hiring and admissions practices, allegation that the university had denied. The next hearing will occur on 29 May in Boston. Despite our surplus of rice stocks in major exporting countries, some Asian nations continue to grapple with soaring prices. Japan's farm minister resigned on Wednesday after saying he gets rice for free and remarked that drew anger among consumers faced with prices that have nearly doubled in a year. Blessing Obi has details.
This store has become the center of attention at this market in Manila, and for good reason. It is the only one here where rice can be bought for less than 40 US cents a kilo after price sold in most other stores. That's thanks to the Philippine government new subsidized rice program.
It's really helpful, especially because we are a big family. We cook 1 kilo of rice every meal. We can use the savings to buy more food.
Despite prices decline in major rice exporting countries in the last 6 months, people in some Asian nations are still struggling to afford the staple food. Public discontent over the Japanese government's inability to lower costs boiled over after Agriculture Minister Tanguyen Edo said he gets a supply of rice for free, forcing his resignation. In the Philippines, lowering tariffs on imported rice had little effect. Now officials say a government program to sell stockpiles at a loss will help drive down market prices. But the Department of Agriculture says that's just for an initial rollout.
Our target by September, we can reach up to 3.3 million households or 14 million Filipinos.
Target critics say is unsustainable. Leonardo Montemayor is a former agriculture secretary. He says the government has to pay at least double what a kilo of subsidized rice costs to consumer.
Well, it has the money if it wants to continue increasing its deficits. But for how long can it sustain that level of expenditure and not impact later on our interest rates and so on?
But the government says its subsidy is a good investment.
Those that might be minuscule, in comparison to the socio-economic benefits.
Farmers aren't so sure. They say lower prices could further squeeze already small profits. But for millions of other Filipinos, cheaper rice is a promise President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. made in his 2022 campaign that is already finally fulfilled. Blessing Obi, OSRC News.
And to end the OSRC News at 7, here again are some of the major stories. We told you that Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has expressed satisfaction with the ongoing judiciary complex project. During our visits to the project site, he commended the contractor for the quality and level of work done so far. We also told you that preparations are on top gear as schools across Ondo State have begun celebration rehearsals ahead May 27 Children's Day. We also heard that Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has refuted claims of political meeting involving its chairman Ola Olukoyede. And that's the news at 7. Thank you so much for watching. Good evening.